One of the things that I hear a lot, I think it's one of the biggest misconceptions about ham radio is people just say, in a true emergency situation, you don't really need a license anyway. And what I always say to people is, the first time you use a firearm, you don't want it to be when somebody's breaking into your house, right? What's going on, guys? I'm James KN4NEH from Ham Radio Prep, and I am here with
Brian, KG5VEK with American Contingency.
And I have just been checking out the American Contingency booth here at the Huntsville Ham Fest, and I gotta say, it's just awesome what you guys are doing, Brian. And I thought it would be really good to just tell the Ham Radio Prep folks a little bit more about what you guys do and what's important. So I don't know, why don't you just start us off with what is American Contingency in the first place?
American Contingency is a national preparedness organization. We have teams, chapters across all 50 states. We emphasize local meetups. We have website, AmericanContingency.com. Come check us out there. But we stress local teams, local chapters, face-to-face meetings. We get out, we train our people on medical supplies, disaster relief, food preservation, gardening, raising chickens, herbal remedies. We do a little bit of everything. We have subject matter experts in all of those areas.
And so I think what's really cool about you guys, because here on the Ham Radio Prep side, we're all about getting people licensed and on the air with ham radio, but you guys are full stack, right? You're looking at comms as one element of a bigger picture of preparedness, disaster relief, and things like that. So
yes,
you guys are thinking about the full stack, is that right?
Right. Comms is very important out there in disaster relief. We promote PACE planning, primary, alternate, contingency, and emergency communications. We get people, we start them off, everybody carries their primary form of communication. It's this right here. But we get them involved with GMRS as a stepping stone to get them into ham radio. And we use courses like Ham Radio Prep to get them involved with that as well. We get them licensed. If the cell phone goes down and you can't reach your family, how are you going to do it? That's where ham radio comes into play. And we teach our people that. Our teams develop PACE plans. We have a national PACE plan out there as well.
One of the things that I hear a lot, I think it's one of the biggest misconceptions about ham radio is people just say, well, hey, in a true emergency situation, you don't really need a license anyway. And what I always say to people is, the first time you use a firearm, you don't want it to be when somebody's breaking into your house, right? You don't just buy the thing, put it on a shelf, and then, pray for the best in the case of emergency happens. And that's why at Ham Radio Prep, we're really big on getting folks licensed, getting on the air, and doing some training. And that seems kind of aligned with y'all's approach too. It's not just about buying the equipment, you actually have to put some things into practice. Is that right?
That's totally true. Radio communications is not just plug and play. People can pick their cell phone up, punch a few buttons, and they make it work, okay? Ham radio is not that way. So we get out there, we teach our people, okay, this is how you program that radio. This is how the frequencies that you put in there. We develop, like I said, the PACE plan out there so that you know what frequency to reach out and talk to your family members on. A lot of our members are very active in POTA, Parks on the Air.
Yeah.
We get out there, we set our radios up in the parks, and we make contacts. What that does, that teaches you emergency communications. Putting your radio up in emergency situations, because you're out in the field, you're running off a battery, you've got an antenna hanging up in a tree. And that's why we push the licensing very hard on that, because you got to use radio to learn radio.
And you're kind of having a fun time while you're doing it. That's one of the great things about POTA. You go out to a park, you activate, you set up your antenna, and you're doing portable operations, Bauer battery operations without any dependence on infrastructure. We're talking direct radio-to-radio communications. You can even log your contacts and you can see, okay, this is the ranges that I'm hitting. I'm hitting across multiple states. And so then in a real disaster situation, those skills that you learned while you're doing POTA, all of a sudden, they're relevant again, right?
Exactly, because you know how to configure that radio and that antenna to reach a certain specific area. Say if I've got to hit the East Coast, I need to orient my antenna so it will reach the East Coast. If I got to talk to the West Coast, it'll go there.
Awesome. Brian, that's incredible. Love what you guys are doing. Thank you so much for keeping it going, and we're excited to continue to work with you.
Yep. Thank y'all very much.
Thanks, Brian.
Head on over to hamradioprep.com to get started with our online courses. It's the fastest, easiest, and most fun way to pass your ham radio license exam. Our team of ham radio experts will teach you all the material on the test with quizzes, games, and practice tests to reinforce your knowledge. You can study right from the comfort of your own home and even on your smartphone. Courses are available for all 3 levels of ham radio licenses: Technician, General, and Amateur Extra. The program is so effective that we guarantee you'll pass your exam on your first try or your money back. What are you waiting for? Visit hamradioprep.com today and join over 60,000 students who have successfully completed the course. I'm Jim, N4BFR. Thanks for watching, and from all of us at Ham Radio Prep, we hope to hear you on the air soon.